Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So the other time. Welcome to the poetry reading with Fatal Friends at another evening, at another, a poetic evening with candlelight, dark. Okay, I'll begin with, let us sing, let's hear some song of heart, song of peace, song of humanity, that touches upon, the wars, peace and all. So let us welcome our first guest, here, and he please put your hands together, because since he has won a national competition in poetry recently held in an event, in an annual event, and he won a first prize, and he's none other than Gopal Purdani, sir. Please put your hands together. So sir, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So grateful to you.
Thank you, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. My respected poet friends, it's my privilege that I am in this group. Is because of respected Madam Roopali, who is very kind, and Kumar Prasanna ji, who has been, I'm grateful to him also. And I was advised that since poets from Punjabi language are not that many, I should say something in Punjabi. So first of all, sir, with your permission, I would like to say a romantic song, a short song, small song, and I'm going to side by side and line by line, I'm going to translate in English, if you so permit me. The song is Tera Mera Pyar Goriye, Tera Mera Pyar. Cheel, cheel de शांत जल ते संदूरी किरणा दा विस्तार गोरीए तेरा मेरा प्यार. Meaning, my and your love is like a upper layer of the water of a lake, which has got the color of the dawn, early morning, rising sun, sinduri sun. Again, कि मैं पौंड दा बुल्ला सजन जी, तुसी वायु मंजर दा विस्तार, मैं लघुतम लघु अणु पदार्थ, तुसी ब्रह्मांड ब्रह्मांड अपार, तेरे विच मेरा है, मेरे विच तेरा आकार, तेरा मेरा प्यार गुजिए, तेरा मेरा प्यार. It means I'm a smallest item is called atom, which is floating in the air, and you are like universal, which spread over the sky, and that gives me a great privilege being a part of you. हर जिंदगी नू मौत उड़ीके, हर बने दा अंत, every life is being awaited by the death. हर बने दा अंत, whatever has been made, it will finish one day. खून दी कड़ी दा ना जिंदगी, the moment of this particular time is the name of the life. This is the only life. तो इक्का चीज होर अनंत जिन्नू कहंदे प्यार, गोरीए तेरा मेरा प्यार. Meaning that there is another thing, only one thing in the universe, that is the love which will live forever. The true love will live forever. Otherwise, all the things which has been made, including the large, huge earth, it will die one day. एक छोटा जिहा एक गीत सी, एक छोटी जी गजल. Sir, ghazal is a type of poetry which is very strong and which is very delicate also. Mainly, ghazal has been written in Urdu. There's no other language. But there are few poets who tried to write a ghazal in Punjabi. I am one of them. The ghazal which I wrote few years back, and it was like particularly those who were fluent in Punjabi, I would like to recite my ghazal. Ghazal says, Mukki kade na ਸਮੇਂ ਦੀ ਰਵਾਨੀ ਮੁੱਕੀ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਸਨੇ ਦੀ ਰਵਾਨੀ ਰੁਕੀ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਬੜਾ ਚਿਰ ਜਵਾਨੀ meaning the speed of life, the continuity of life has never stopped, and the youth is the one which is short-lived. ਪਿੱਛੇ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਯਾਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਝੋਲੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਯਾਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਝੋਲੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਝਲਕ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ meaning the old memories, I have left them behind, and now I am entering into a life which is just about to start. सच्चा प्यार ही सदा ही रहना बाकी सब है फानी फानी. This is a true love which is going to stay forever, and all other things are to be vanished. They will all vanish. Thank you, sir. This is the Punjabi what I contributed. If you permit me, I will recite a few four-liners. One of them is addressed to my wife. I tell her कि मेरे बाद भी तुम अपने हुस्न को यूं ही संवारे रहना. I'll die, I'll vanish, I'll go away, but you keep yourself as beautiful as you are today. मेरे बाद भी तुम अपने हुस्न को यूं ही संवारे रहना. कुछ अरमान पूरे कर लेना, कुछ अरमान कंवारे रखना. क्योंकि जीवन है तो समय के साथ ही, इसमें तूफान भी आते रहेंगे. उमड़ती हुई लहरों के लिए मजबूत किनारे रखना. Keep yourself strong enough for all the bad things coming. सारे तूफान जो आएंगे उनके लिए. एक और है, अपने देशभक्ति के ऊपर 4 लाइन लिखी थी सर, इफ यू परमिट में, कि पैदा हुआ जो इस धरती से वो हिंद का कर्जदार हो. Whoever has been born in India is becoming indebted to the country. पैदा हुआ इस धरती से जो हिंद का कर्जदार हो गया, और इसी कारणवश वो मेरा भी रिश्तेदार हो गया. Because I'm also Indian, he is also Indian. करेंगे रक्षा माँ धरती की, जान भी देकर हम, इस वचन में उसका वो मेरा हिस्सेदार हो गया. And this is what the promise, and he is also partnered with me in that particular promise. एक छोटा सा 4 लाइन और है सर, कि अपनी आजादी का पूरा अधिकार मांगता हूँ. This Constitution of India also guarantees अपनी आजादी का पूरा अधिकार मांगता हूँ. मेरे हिस्से का मैं अपना संसार मांगता हूँ. लेने देने का है सिलसिला ये जिंदगी, जितना देता हूँ उतना सा प्यार मांगता हूँ. Thank you very much, sir. Very grateful to you.
क्या बात है सर, क्या बात है. वाह, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया, दिल छूने वाली. बहुत बढ़िया एकदम. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming, and thanks for inspiring with your words, and with your trying the Punjabi and English translation as well for the other rest of the poets to understand. So thank you. Thanks once again. Let's jump on to our next poet. Our next poet is she's celebrating birthday today. So please wish her happy birthday and
happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the lovely wishes. Thank you, everyone. So, may I recite?
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for presenting this beautiful platform of eminent poets from all over the world and giving us an opportunity to recite every Sunday. We look forward for that. It's very inspiring. Thank you so much for being there, sir. I'm really honored. Okay, here goes my poem, Mother's Prediction. On his birthday, Swami Vivekananda, known as Naren, a lad of 10 years, donated his new silk dhoti, kurta, and a new shawl to the beggar standing down, shivering in cold. At that spur, his mother predicted that if he gave someone everything they needed, he will become a monk, and these words became true. Naren became a monk and renounced the materialist world to serve the poor downtrodden, and today he is known as Swami Vivekananda. May I recite another one?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
This is the second one is Maya. The place was utterly new acquaintances, new meetings, strange networks. The house was totally empty, neither a chair nor an ant. Gradually, objects took their positions. It appeared so beautiful. People started living, and the vacancy was fulfilled. Death gave birth to life. Emptiness was fulfilled. Despair made room for hopes. Aspirations exalted. Yearnings skyrocketed. From nothingness to everything. From futility to fertility. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful, ma'am. A kind of eerie, but yes, something, touching upon, aspects of life. And yeah, beautiful. And thanks for, reminding this Swami Vivekanandas. So we were wishing to have it more. So, but yes, it was crisp, but yes, good. And thank you. Thanks for coming. We missed you last Sunday. Yes, we didn't celebrate it, and best celebrate your happy evening, birthday. Thank you. Thanks for coming. And let us move on across to our next poet. Our next poet is joining us, but first time, please welcome Clive Oseman.
Hello, it's good to be here. I can't often make it on a Sunday afternoon, but yeah, so I'm going to do two. I don't do, well, I do occasionally, but I do mainly comedy stuff, so nothing too serious today. And so the two I'm going to do, there are some people here who have heard them, but there are plenty that haven't. And I do give a little warning that bad language may be imminent. I do tend to use cuss words a little bit. So the first one is called Never Buy a Cheap Hamster.
You should trigger a warning, man. No cuss word, yes. So go ahead.
Right, Never Buy a Cheap Hamster. Sometimes my poems are a bit surreal, and this one is more serious, I feel. You see, if there's one thing that really pisses me off, it's my hamster trying to play Rachmaninoff. It would probably get away with Liszt, but when he tries to play Sergei, he just sounds pissed. The notes are just all over the place, like my poems. It's a fucking disgrace. I paid a £5 for that useless beast. You'd think he could play Chopin at least. I think those who went to the conservatoire cost 150 quid or more. And yes, I know that was a dodgy rhyme, but whose poem is he, yours or mine? I think he got some kind of bursary to learn to sing like Freddie Mercury, but that's no good to a fan of piano who likes a bloody good concerto. The gerbils of the orchestra. All bloody night he sings, I Want to Break Free, because he can't remember Bohemian Rhapsody. I wish he would break free, is what I'm saying, because his singing is worse than his piano playing. So the message is clear, unless you're demented. Concert level hamsters are pretty expensive. And don't get me started on the dog. He's a cute little fellow, but do you think he can play Dvorak on cello? A music fan once told me the animals were good. I'd ram my piano up their arse if I could. All the money I've wasted depleting my wealth. I could have had bloody lessons myself. And I may have exaggerated about the gerbils. So that's that one. That's the sort of world I live in. Cloud Cuckoo Land, I think people call it. And the next one is called Wisdom. There are many old proverbs, old adages by which people try to live their lives. Some of them are very wise, of course, but in the end, we find our own way, develop our own ideas, even if they can be a bit weird. Me, I'm a bit of a sage, a modern day guru, and though ultimately you have to do you, I'm going to share my wisdom with anyone who will listen. And if you don't want to know, I'm not that fussed, but believe me, I've got this life shit sussed. If it looks good and tastes good, it's probably going to make you fat and fuck your heart up. If you can keep your head when all around are losing theirs, you're probably too stupid to understand what's going on. A bird in the hand will probably shit on your fingers. The only certainties in life are death and taxes. And people telling you that the only certainties in life are death and taxes when clearly they're talking bullshit. Because, well, sunrise, sunset, and Harry Styles ruining music. If you can't stand the heat, it's probably because the chip pan's on fire. The King Charles Spaniel is so called because it has very big ears and is totally unsuitable to be head of state, just like the real thing. A great philosopher once said, fuck this shit, I'm going for a beer. In the British Isles, we have the island of Sark, which is like shark with the H missing. We have Wales, which is like Wales with the H missing. I live in Swindon, which is a sick tip. Avoid it at all costs. But most important of all, if at first you don't succeed, try something else. It'll save a lot of disappointment in the long run. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's brilliant, Clive. You're no sort of essays. Your essays is brilliant presentation. Wow, wonderful, both.
Good.
Thanks for coming, and please do come and keep inspiring. And thanks for coming tonight. So please welcome Roser Davis, Chennai, at the first time on our platform. Please put your hands together and please welcome Roser Davis.
Well, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just heard about this group this morning, so the time is right. I was involved in a number of different poetry gatherings on Zoom when I was back in the States, but the time difference doesn't allow that to work. So I'm glad to find one here. And I would, maybe somebody could put in the chat what your routines are. How often do you meet and when and all? So I understand I can share a poem or two.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Let me start with one that I think speaks to artists, poets, particularly, whatever your wellspring is. We all have a spring of inspiration we go to, whether it's prayer or meditation or a walk in the woods or whatever your wellspring is. So this is called Path to the Spring. And I have to apologize. I lived in the Appalachian Mountains of the States for a decade or so, and so the accent kind of reflects that. I was dying of thirst the time that I first went whacking my way through the woods. The brambles were thick on the path that I'd picked, and the vines seemed to hold me back right good. But by poking around, I finally found a spring that'd satisfy my needs. The water was cool, in a deep, quiet pool, as soon as I cleared out all the weeds. Well, the next time I went, my time wasn't spent just stumbling to find my way. It was easy to find by following the signs of my bushwhack on the previous day. I still had to hack out a crude kind of track out to the crystal spring that I'd found, but it was worth the rough trip just to get a good sip from that fountain bubbling up from the ground. Now, it's still worth it, I think, to hike for a good drink, but it gets quicker as the path becomes clearer. Each time I parade down this trail that I've made, it seems that the spring's a bit nearer. Till now, it's no trick, for the tracks become slick, a broad and an open way. It's an easy trip now, the path cleared somehow by the habit of going each day. So I guess the idea is for us writers, at first it might come hard, but you keep at it, and little by little, the path becomes clearer, right?
Yes, exactly.
So there you go. Do I have time for one more?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So I came to Chennai just 8 or 9 months ago, and plan to be here for a while. But obviously I'm not from India. So, what could get someone to leave their home and come to a new place like this? And I did the same for a decade. I lived in Brazil. So this poem speaks to that motivation for traveling to meet people around the world. It's called The Other Side of the Hill. And you have to know, up in Appalachia, it's an area full of mountains. It's a mountainous area, and the people live down in the hollows. And you look up against the hills that rise up against you. You feel kind of isolated in those valleys, those hollows. Been sitting here on my back porch, looking up at this hill that rises up against the sky, so quiet, dark, and still. Just thinking about the bigness of the world gives me a thrill, dreaming of places I've never seen and maybe never will. Just think, there's people on the other side alive this very day. Men at work and girls in love and children hard at play, and probably folks on their back porch, same's me, I'd have to say. And though I haven't met them yet, we're neighbors in a way. See, that big old world's just the other side of this hill that seems so high. And those far off foreign places lie beneath the same blue sky. And those far off foreign people ain't so different from you and I. If only we'd meet them face to face and greet them eye to eye. So someday, God willing, I'll get over that hill just to see what I can see, and sit perhaps on their back porch and sip on their kind of tea, just to see what kind of neighbors these foreign folks might be, and perhaps, God willing, to show them the good neighbor they'd find in me. Now, as we'd sit and talk about this and that and so, I think our differences would fade away and our likenesses would show. If we could just sit on a porch and chat, I think we'd come to know we're all the same on this big old world. Same sun above, same earth below. Well, as I'd sit on that back porch, I suppose that I might find that looking back from the other side of the mountain would bring to mind this back porch where I'm sitting now, and the good folks I'd left behind. My friends and family that have taught me this love for all mankind. My friends and family, I'll miss them, sure, each and every one. But love wasn't meant to sit still on the spot where it begun. So I'm headed off for broader horizons across the mountain and beyond, to meet my many neighbors and to know we all are one. So it's nice to be here on this Zoom back porch and just chat a little bit.
Marvelous.
greet you all face to face and eye to eye. So nice to get to know you all.
A subtle
Thank you.
rendition, I would say, subtle rendition. Yes, differences would go away. Say definitely.
We got to
Beautiful.
work on
Thanks
that.
for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be
Thanks
here,
for
and
coming.
I'll mute myself now so
Yes,
others can
please
have
do
time.
come regularly and inspire us. Thank you, Rosa Davis. That was, and now let's move on to our next poet. She is from Switzerland, not Switzerland. I think she is from. I think she, yeah, yeah, Netherlands. Gargi Mishra.
Thank you, Mr. Prasanna. Hope I am audible. Okay, so greetings to all the distinguished poets from all over the world. I'm already enjoying this lyrical journey, and today I'm going to present two of my poems. And this poem, Silence, there are two poems. One is Silence and one is Imperfections. Just a minute.
Ma'am, are you there or have you gone? You just. Are you there, ma'am? Just okay. Turn on your mic, please.
Yeah, I'm very much there. I think there is a small technical glitch. Yeah. So am I audible? Yeah. So what I was saying that I am basically a storyteller, and past few weeks I've been writing a lot because there were lots of competitions. So one of our brothers, he told me that you have been writing a lot, just meditate, post your things once in a while, just ponder over it and correct it. If possible, you can add some metaphors and make it a little more interesting, because repetitive writing, it will create boredom for everybody. So I just found myself more powerful. I'm thankful to that brother, and I just wrote a poem on that. So I would like to share. Just a minute. Yeah, the title of the poem is Silence. You would find silence. You'd find something is there in the elusive clutches of nothingness. When you go far away from chaos and enter into the black hole of silence, with some smudged dreams. On the shores of partnerships, some granules of fascination will still remain. Amidst an intricate maze of winding thoughts, a haze of memory plays in the most insane corner of your brain. What you proudly felt you can play on your fingertip till last night will suddenly disappear from your wide open sight. When you crave for that source, you will have absolute void. You'll have nothing. That nothingness is torment. For meditation generates power, joy, and harmony. It gives you a chance to revisit yourself again and mitigate all agony. How often you want and whenever you like, silence reflects on you with desired light. It's the weak who get conflicting thought, but the stronger will surely be able to fight. Feel it. Feel the strength in you. Be undeterred to your inner peace. There is immense vitality waiting to unleash. Attract you for a moment, but when you successfully resist them, it will give you the access to power, and there will be nothing to lament. Like a dirty pond, our mind has dirty contemplations. The dirt settles down as we focus on the depth of meditation. Analyze the reason of your unsettled thought. Scrutinize
Gary, I think you're frozen.
Frozen, yes. Again, this technical glitch for Gargi's ma'am. I think we could just move on, maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's jump on to our next poet. Our next poet is the one who is here, Hope in My Cottage. She's a bestseller and she is for the first time on our platform. So please welcome Jackie Chow.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. I'm so glad to be here. I wasn't aware. I'm going to read two poems. The first one is called Red. I've always been wary of the color red. It sticks out like a signpost in the middle of a road, warning me to stop, not proceed, for danger is ahead. Drawn to your lips, I sought a warm heart with the matching hue, only to find a black soul under the crimson glow of your skin, your blue woes and green envy. That's one. And then I'm going to read another more recent one. The recent one is called Morning Musings with Bird Songs. I know by the weight of my steps and the hunch of my back that this street under my feet no longer suits me. Youth, I have lingered in your shadow for as long as I can. I've looked you in the eyes and begged you to stay. But now my bones are telling me it's time to say goodbye to this ghetto of old glories where friends once set foot. One by one, they have married, gotten promoted, and left these ruins. It's only me, the last blackbird standing on this concrete sidewalk where the past dwells. It's time to store away treasured memories in a capsule of my heart and migrate like the others. Thank
Wow, excellent expression. Beautiful, Jackie. Thank you. Thanks for coming and thanks for owning, you know, enhancing the quality of this, platform. So please do come regularly and, keep inspiring. Thanks for coming. Our next poet is, yeah, she is always there with us and she's regularly comes and she is quite an inspirational poet. She is a award-winning poet, I would say, is a bestseller. So her name is Nayma Chamchoun. Please welcome Nayma Chamchoun.
Thank you. I'm going to share a poem today that I've submitted into a poetry competition. And I suppose the inspiration of this poem is that it is a female response to the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Okay. After Alfred, a response to the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. This is how we stay, you and I, when the dying sun bleeds into the sky, amongst your rainbow organized clutter, amber air filtering through the shutters, murmured discourse across the coffee table as voices tenderly cosset like silken sable, romanced by the rapture that so easily enthralls our flirty festival, deaf to the imam's call. The grandiosity of Moroccan gelées, so befitting the moment, colourfully beaming proudly, without encroachment, darkness sifting into the room, a tagine ashtray with smoky plumes. In the Casbah, women stop and chat, talking of victory in the World Cup, strolling through the scattered stalls of the Sorks, as the dust nestled before settling on our skin, the musk and kufta-infused air our clothes drink in, the charmer and the serpent, charmed by the flute, down dehydrated alleys with lumpy footpaths, who silently sigh imperialist epitaphs, the sunny fingers who poke through the arches, rubbing against our faces as she teasingly arches. Surely there is not enough time for the eternal soul to fully express the elation that rebukes the world's transgress. There is never enough time, clawing at our arms and baring its fangs, the ebbing humanity that lingers in turn, as we scuttled into the acrid alcoves where the air whispered of olive groves. There is never enough time to consume all the joy, to face the forces whose gluttony only destroys. Time to put the world to rights over Ete, to stretch it across time and space, to stay. In the Casbah, women stop and chat, talking of victory in the World Cup. There is not enough time to consider and reconsider the future's plans, to reprimand the existence that felt like a sham, to wonder when the crows first landed on the corner of the eye, to recall the boastful fool, too frightened to challenge culture, tittering tongues. It's such a shame, what a wasted life. Their pitying stares, feigning care, stabbing like a knife. See how the colour drains from my cheeks and hair. I was once beautiful, my insecurities keeping me unaware. If I breathed you in and held my breath, could we stay, you and I, in eternity's depth? I have known the men who sexted and courted, acquainted with the overfamiliarity of breaking wind and poking orifices, the romance long since dimmed, the holidays and cheap hotel rooms where I faked love to fill the gloom, faded cigarette smoke and designer perfume. They will say, Metat slash. I too am familiar with them all, the rampant, looking for a booty call, the Thai restaurants with lemongrass walls, the sexual role play that disguises ennui, the TV flashing, an old childhood matinee. Should I flinch at the judgment of your double standards, scouring my sullied skin to wash away the hands? I have felt the hand that pinned my arms above my head, its fingers calloused and fat like sausages, the invented drama that attempts to assuage, the coarse stubble that paws at your cheeks, the restlessness that fuels rendezvous in car-backed seats, Chanel blue on your t-shirt, and I forget. What was I saying? I served myself bare. Are you shocked yet? When we were seated on the wall above the sea, the ocean dressed in a veil of encrusted diamonds before the light shimmied into the ebony horizon, I should have accosted Father Time, cursed him for not granting more time. How the snow outside settled so comfortably, its Arctic breaths drifting in with the draft, presenting merriment, bringing chaos, frosty rabid jaws that chill to the bone, pushing into our sensory nerves as we sit numbly, seeing your message flash on the phone. Your warmth surrounds me. I berate myself silently. This is not me. I scoff at love and the impossible reality sold. Am I a realist or a cynic? Maybe I am just too old. You knew I was afraid. I was terrified. After beef tagine and Moroccan fruit salad, after roll-ups and hot drooling ate, to selfishly stop the seconds to say, let us stay this way forever and a day, to tame the white noise with your fairy ballad, to balance on that flicker, hurtling through the infinite universe, behind a devoured Mother Earth, to embrace that ecstasy into my pulse, to say, I am Aphrodite, here to engulf, as my raging tides dissolve the gulf. Cliche, age mockingly snickers. Amongst the dyed paintbrushes and unfinished tableaus, the water in the jar tinged plum, the way you always place your hand behind your back as the other moves across the canvas like a bird in flight, simultaneously awed and struck dumb. You are somewhere else, in the contours only an artist knows, glimpses of joy and sorrow in a coat of many colours, where we spoke only in the tongue of the land of our mother, our clothes tossed on the floor, the eyes who lap up and store a catalogue of mannerisms to recall. I pleaded with time to mercifully stall. Christmas looms and festivity finds no place in my will. Maybe the frenzied buying and gluttonous eating will obliviously pass me by if I just sit really still. The goodwill to all men, as indelible as the greetings, the artificial tree banished under the stairs, seems to goad me for my slovenly lack of care, taunting me with descent into old age. But I am so tired and all out of rage. Should I fritter away my pittance on age-defying creams, popping silicone, eating superfoods, and drinking green tea? I dismay at my wearied and sagging eyes, the way my breasts no longer shun gravity. Time's unrelenting, harsh reality. He does not wait for me. Walking along the beach, our steps tickling the tide, my black dress's hem dusted in the salt of the sea, me in a straw hat and the sun in our eyes. I would spend it all, gobble it all, night and day, wildly laughing in the face of advancing grey, if I thought it would keep us forever this way. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What a profound imagery. What a fantastic, the intensity, the voice that is, my God. I have no words. I have no words to,
Thank you.
My goodness, this is by far the longest poem that has been presented on this platform. So give it up for Nayma Chamchoun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nayma. Okay, let's jump on to our next poet. Our next poet is from Singapore, Sylvia Ang. Yeah, Sylvia, please turn on your mic. Please turn on your mic.
Okay, I'm mute. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Go ahead.
I'm reading a childhood poetry called The Street Where I Live. When I was 15 on the fatal morning at 5 a.m., Ahwas was shouting at the dark zinc bathroom. underneath the kampong banana tree. Molest, help, help. The Havelock villagers come alive with poles as if going to slaughter a pig. The molester disappeared in thin air. He left without a trace. Our father promised to break a leg of the molester if he can catch him.
Do you have another one?
Okay, the TikTok man doing his rounds. My mother ordered 2 packets of mee pok, enough to feed a family of 8. After school, I carried the curry puff and sago pudding, selling to the kampong at 15 years old. The night saw a cheerful, chubby uncle came his usual round. The dark zinc toilet with a big hole. I peeked through the hole to see if anyone was watching me. The tortoise swimming in the well under the cherry tree in the Havelock kampong style. The king hui or the cactus flower open and display its crowning glory, a sight to delight the kampong folks. On a lazy Sunday, when I was dozed off, my mother would shout at me, "Mata coming," meaning the police is coming to catch you. Okay, quickly do your homework or I will cane you. Okay, now I talk about the review by my good friend Lt.Col Singh. Your above writing is excellent. It is characterized by your unique knowledge of life in the past in Singapore. They give your unique signature. Marvelous job. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. Thank you for presenting the review as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And please now let's welcome Hira Nawaz from Bangalore. Ma'am, please turn on your mic.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm going to recite 2 poems today. The first one is Unconditional Friendship, because friendship is a very important relation between 2 or more people. And it's always good to have friends who stand by you. So this poem is all about unconditional friendship. Friendship is a truly enervating and beautiful feeling to explicitly show our reciprocal mutual love and care, and how valley deep is our heartfelt emotions can be, and how readily we are willing to mutually trust and share. Why should friendship be such a top-notch priority? It's because friends stand by one, come what may. Friends live for us, they lie for us, and they even cry for us, proving that where there's a will, there's a highway. Due to the inexplicable vicissitudes and intransigencies, a whimsical friend can inflict indiscriminate pain, but one should forgive the friend and oneself, for it is only in giving and forgiving that we ultimately gain. Heart-wrenching tears are streaming down my face as I think of what my sacred friendship is all about. A friend who loves me genuinely for my heart and soul. A friend is one who walks in when the whole world walks out. Thank you. That's my first poem. And my second poem is on gratitude, because I feel gratitude is a very important trait. Being gratitude is the best attitude. It shows that we're always grateful to so many people, and it's shown that the most successful motivational speakers are the ones who show gratitude and keep a gratitude journal every day and write every day at least 5 things you're grateful for, because gratefulness and negative thinking cannot coexist. You can either be grateful or it can be negative. So it's always better to be grateful. So this is called Be Grateful. One should stop in one's pristine tracks in order for one to discern that God is really good, an entity of sincere, viable vibes, wishes and tidings, and for whom the common man has always stood. Due to one's omniscient God, we have a roof, decent clothes to wear, and food on the table, beside the hundreds of small and not so small items which enable one to stand tall, undeterred by any label. Therefore, to the great God, one should give thanks, and one should display the utmost earnest gratitude. For what is life without the mutual reciprocation of thankfulness reflected in a transparent attitude? One should not take one's dear God for granted, who can guide one, for he is compassionate and kind. He indeed makes miracles happen every day, which he does by fastidiously steadfasting our mind. So every time one touches rock bottom or one is morose, one must remember to flaunt one's most earnest attitude, aware of the magical words, one reaps what one sows. Thank you so much. So these two poems were very close to my heart. The first poem is about gratitude, because our closest friends are the people who stand up by us, come what may. And the second poem about gratitude is because it's always good to show gratitude, because there's so many people we should be grateful for: our family, our friends, our colleagues, and even most of all, for God above. So thank you so much, Prasanna ji. Thank you.
Ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for presenting your two beautiful poems. Yes, as always. Let us move on to our next poet. We've been joined by new poets. We've been joined by, let us welcome Anggit Kotima. I couldn't pronounce it well. So please welcome Anggit Kotima from Indonesia.
Yeah. Hello. Hello, greeting. My name is Anggit. I'm from Indonesia and I'm 20 years old.
Please, go ahead, Anggit. Welcome.
Okay. Our nature has been lost. Every evening there is a red sky, as if standing with trees, charming bird, and a stitch of forest. All of those are so beautiful, I could never forget. When morning came, I saw the sun. I crossed the river. I heard the birds singing early. I felt the cold water. I felt a girl's nature. When minutes began to change and I grow up, I am addicted when to reach a science. When I come back, I think there is something wrong. The nature is not like beaver. Green changes to red, clear changes to dark, stream becomes dry, cream changes into stone. My nature has changed. I called up longer-hearted team. I do not even feel the cold. I just feel hot and earth. My nature has broken the magic caused by hour. Thanks for attention.
Wow, Angit, you're a surprise package. Wow, you're a performer, man. Beautiful.
My language is bad. English bad.
Not
From
at all.
Indonesia.
No, not at all. Not at all. So beautiful, Angit.
Sorry.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, and please do come. Okay, let's welcome our new poet. Next poet, our Mulia Elha. Mulia Elha, kindly, bear with me. Mulia Elha.
Hello.
Hello, Mulia.
Yeah, I'm from Indonesia. My name is Mulia and I'm 28 years old. And this is my first time here and so proud to be here. So I want to read poetry from Marianne Angus. I don't know. Honestly, this is my first time to read English poetry, usually Indonesian. So yeah, I'll try. Yonder she sits beside the tranquil tea, kindly yet cool, respectable and wise, sharp-tongued, too civil, with wide open eyes, dreaming of hills, yet argent for the sea. And still anon, she has her vanity, wears her grim mantle with a certain grace, while sometimes there are roses on her face, to sweeten to austere simplicity. She never told her children fairy lore, yet they must go a seeking crocks of gold, afar throughout the earth, and when their treasures in her lap they pour, her hands upon her knee to primly fold, she smiles, complacent that she gave them birth. You remember me on the west wind moon, upon the fields of Bali. Okay, so that's from Marianne Angus, the Tilburg City. Thank you.
Yeah, wow, wow. Thanks for joining. Thank you for presenting your beautiful poems. Yes, your great future ahead of you. Beautiful, my blessings and all blessings. Angit and Mulia, thanks for coming. Now let's jump on to our next poet. Our next poet is the one who is making our first time. AU Snow White. Are you Snow White? Are you Snow White? Are you Snow White? Please, if you kindly turn on your mic. Are you Snow White? Snow White, whatever it is. Could you turn on? Okay, let's jump on to next poet, Madhav Noor. Madhav Noor, Madhav Noor, please.
Madhavji will join in few minutes. Maybe
Okay.
after 2-3 people. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Reema Singh.
Yes, Reema ji maybe it's on like.
Please welcome Reema Singh. Ma'am, kindly turn on your mic. Please welcome Reema Singh.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead. Please unmute. Yeah, please unmute your mic. Ma'am, please unmute your mic. I'm trying to. Yeah.
मेरी कविता शुरू करने से पहले मैं कुछ पंक्तियों से अपनी कविता की शुरुआत करना चाहूंगी। मेरी पंक्तियां हैं। मेरा ईश्वर भी कितना बड़ा दिल रखता है। मेरा ईश्वर भी कितना बड़ा दिल रखता है, हर जरूरत को पूरी करने के काबिल रखता है। मेरा ईश्वर भी कितना बड़ा दिल रखता है, हर जरूरत को पूरी करने के काबिल रखता है। जब भी मुश्किलें घेर लेती है मेरी कश्ती को, जब भी मुश्किलें घेर लेती है मेरी कश्ती को, मेरी कश्ती के पास ही साहिल रखता है।
वाह वाह वाह, बहुत अच्छे,
धन्यवाद।
बहुत अच्छे।
मेरी कविता है जिसका शीर्षक है बातें। बातें करना, बातें सुनना, बातें करना, बातें है, सच्ची बातें, झूठी बातें, बातों में क्या रखा है। सच्ची बातें, झूठी बातें, बातों में क्या रखा है। नाराज रहो तुम कुछ न कहो, नाराज रहो तुम कुछ न कहो, खामोश रहो तुम कुछ न कहो, बातों में क्या रखा है। अपनेपन की बातें करके, अपनेपन की बातें करके सपना नया दिखाओगे। अपनेपन की बातें करके सपना नया दिखाओगे, मीठी मीठी बातें करके फिर तुम रंग जमाओगे। फिर तोड़ोगे दिल को मेरे, फिर तोड़ोगे दिल को मेरे और भोले बन जाओगे। कहोगे ऐसा नहीं कहा था, मुझ पर दोष लगाओगे। कहोगे ऐसा नहीं कहा था, मुझ पर दोष लगाओगे। कहोगे तुमको समझ नहीं है, कहोगे तुमको समझ नहीं है, बात समझ नहीं पाती हो। कहोगे तुमको समझ नहीं है, बात समझ नहीं पाती हो। समझ बूझ के इस चक्कर से अब नफरत सी होती है। समझ बूझ के इस चक्कर से अब नफरत सी होती है। बातों से बातें निकलेगी, बातों से बातें निकलेगी, बात बिगड़ती जाएगी। बातों से बातें निकलेगी, बात बिगड़ती जाएगी। ना कहना था जिन बातों को, वो भी कह दी जाएगी। बातें करना, बातें सुनना, बातों में क्या रखा है। सच्ची बातें, झूठी बातें, बातों में क्या रखा है। सच्ची बातें, झूठी बातें, बातों में क्या रखा है। थैंक यू सो मच।
बहुत खूब मैम, बहुत खूब। वाह, क्या बात, क्या बात, बहुत पहली बार आए हैं हमारे शो में। बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगा। एंड प्लीज कीप कमिंग एंड प्लीज please keep presenting your poems. So thank you, thanks for coming. And बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत। Okay, let us jump on to our next poet. Our next poet is the one first time is joining with us. So let us welcome and let him. Poet Kaya Sajib. Sorry for my pronunciation, please. Kaya Sajib. Yes, sir. Please unmute your mic. Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum, sir. Please welcome. Yeah.
আমি কবি কায়সজীব বাংলাদেশ থেকে বলছি।
Yeah.
আমার মাতৃভাষা বাংলা।
Please.
আমি একটি কবিতা পাঠ করব, স্বরচিত কবিতা। আমার কবিতার নাম হচ্ছে অচেনা যত কথা, লিখেছেন কবি কাশ্যজিৎ। বিশ্লেষণ করেও যায় না পাওয়া অতীত দিনে মুখরিত সুখ দুঃখ মুখ। হঠাৎ করে অতীত খুঁজে জীবন দুঃখের স্রোতে হারিয়ে ফেলে রঙিন সময় তার নানান অজুহাতে। ভাটি দেশের ভাটি পাড়ার সেই ছন্দ কালো কিশোরী জীবনে আসেনি ভরা সাজ, নামটি তার আপন মনে ডাকে খুশির সাথে ফুকি। বলয় হারিয়ে যায় সেই অচিনপুরে, তার অতীত মনে আসে কম, মনে করিয়ে দিলে বলতে পারে মনের প্রদীপ জ্বালিয়ে নিবে। সেন্টু গেঞ্জি পরিধানে সেই ললনা বিভিন্ন কারণে হলো অপারেশন হাট কেটে, সে কি কাণ্ড। নবাব বাড়ি ক্লিনিকে হলো ত্রিভুজ সেলাই, কান্না করে সেরে উঠলো তার আত্মহীর বিনোদ বিনার করুণ দুঃখ সুর। কি হবে মোহিতে স্কুল পড়ুয়া সন্ধ্যা লগ্ন কালো কিশোরী, আস্ত নীল কামিজ ও সাদা সালোয়ার পরিহিত কাপড়ে সাদা ওড়না জড়ি, ঘুমটা মাথায় স্কুলেতে বুকে বই গুলো জড়িয়ে করলো শেষ নিউট্রিশনে এমএস। থাকতো বসে এক কোণেতে পড়তো ভারী বেশ, হঠাৎ করে বলতো পড়ার কথা যখনই তারই দরকার হতো মেশ। বলতো তার এমনটাই ভালো লাগে না আর, বললো স্কুল চেঞ্জ। আর মনে ছিল বেজায় রঙিন, বুঝতে নাই দিত কারো। ভিন্ন গুণ শুনিয়ে গেয়ে উঠতো ভিতরে অনুসুর, নীলাজ ডাকে দিত না সারা, অহংকারী টলমল থাকতো বেশ সঙ্গীবিহীন, খেয়াল ছিল দূরে। নিঃশব্দ পায়ে হেঁটে যাওয়া তার বাড়ির ঘাটের পাড়, নৌকা ও আম গাছের নিচ ছিল ও আছে প্রিয় স্থান। সারাদিন দুধারে ছিল নদীর শাখা প্রশাখা ত্রয়ী বেশি যেত বহুদূর। ভাসচারে ছিল পাখির কলরব, ছিল রাস্তার অনেক ব্রিজ। তখন গ্রাম অনেক লাগতো বেজায় ভালো, ছিল পেয়ারা বাগান সারিবদ্ধ বাহারি গাছ। সে আমার আমি হয়ে ঘুরছে সময়, অতীতটাকে পুড়িয়ে আজও পেলাম না আমার আমিটাকে। রয়ে গেলাম একার বাদনের বাদনে, তোমাদের সেই ছন্দ কালো কিশোরী কিশোরী দুঃখের অন্তরালে তরুণী হাসি খুশি খুকি। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে আমাকে আমন্ত্রণ জানানোর জন্য। শুভ সন্ধ্যা।
Brilliant, brilliant. Though we couldn't understand, but we could grasp some few words, but superb presentation. Thank you, Kayas. Thank you. Such a great, such an honor to have you on the show. Thank you. Thank you for presenting your Bengali poem. So beautiful, so beautiful. And
Thank you so much.
thank you, Kayas. Now let us go across to our next poet. Our next poet is a scholar, and she is a well-known poet, and she is a well-known writer. She's everywhere, and she is quite an inspirational for young writers. Her name is Meher Pestonji. Please welcome Meher Pestonji.
Hello, thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy to be here. This is my first time on your program, and I'm looking forward to more.
Thank you.
So I'm going to read two poems from my book. I brought out a book a few months ago, and it's on Amazon if anyone is interested. So my first poem is called After the Storm. Wounded tree, you lie at my feet, the same feet that climbed all over you plucking fruit. Cradled in your branches, I bit mangoes over rooftops, spitting sucked seeds to sprout new trees. the day the storm hit. You defied howling winds, thunder, limbs swishing wildly, roots holding fast to our ground, till lightning split your solid trunk, leaving you blackened and bleeding, tangled arms reaching for the sky. I wept. Morning came. Squirrels scampering among green gold leaves showed me a large part of you still standing tall, hurt but alive, unbent. The second poem is, it's called Waiting. Cactus claws through cracks in broken wall. Roots dig crevices between stone and window wood, where once a woman watched a valley waiting for one who never came. Thank you.
Excellent, ma'am. Excellent. I like the way you, the pronunciation is very clear, and we, every word of it we could hear. So pure, beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. And thank you for coming, and thank you. And please do come every Sunday. We have this recital. So it's a pleasure to have you all, always. Thank you, ma'am. And yes, poets, you could order her book, and it's available on Amazon. So you could share the link in the chat box, ma'am. So up next, we have Sreedharan Parokode, who is a beautiful singer and a songwriter, and as a writer of children's books. And so please welcome Sreedharan Parokode.
Am I audible, Ji?
Perfect, sir. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Prasanna Ji and Patrai Ben. And let me.
Sir, you muted.
Thank you, Prasanna Ji and Patrai Brains. Yeah, and this is a wonderful opportunity. And I can say that this the science of wealth. Science of wealth means it's a story of a dog and crane. They are speaking. That's കുളക്കരയിലായുള്ള കുറുമ്പനായൊരു നാളിൽ ഉരച്ചപ്പോൾ എല്ലിൻ തുണ്ടു പതിച്ചു പോയി എടുക്കുവാൻ കഴിയാതെ കരയിൽ നിന്നവനപ്പോൾ കുറച്ചിട പരുങ്ങിപ്പോയി പരിഭ്രമത്തിൽ അതുവഴി നേരം അതീവ ഭംഗിയിലൊരു കുതിക്കുന്ന കൊക്കു പറന്നു വന്നു അവനോടു മുരണ്ടുകൊണ്ടവനുടെ കഥയെല്ലാം അതു കാട്ടിക്കൊടുത്തവൻ പറഞ്ഞു നിന്നു അതു നേരത്തവനോടായി അതീവ ഭംഗിയിലവൾ ഇതുവിധം പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടകലെ പോയി കുരയ്ക്കുന്ന നായാണു നീ പറക്കുന്ന കൊക്കാണു ഞാൻ ധരിക്ക ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും മറക്കുകയില്ല ധരിക്ക ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും മറക്കുകയില്ല. Yes, the poem is To My Soul. This is my English poem. In your words, I could enjoy a poem that was about me. In your words, I could enjoy a poem that was about me. In your silence, I saw a river. In your silence, I saw a river of emotions we left behind. We left behind. In your smile, I felt the world's pleasure, and in your sorrow, the pain of the universe. In your smile, I felt the world's pleasure, and in your sorrow, the pain of the universe. So my prayer is to have a pretty panorama of happy visions on your face. So my prayer is to have a pretty panorama of happy visions on your face. Thank you, dear.
Panorama of pretty smiles. Beautiful, sir. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I really like the Malayalam one. Yeah, that was, showing your humane side. So beautiful, so beautiful. Thanks for coming and thanks for bringing your soil, practical of, the soil. So thank you. And let's jump on to our next poet. Our next poet is Richard Spisak. He requires no introduction, but yes, he is a mainstay of this fertile brains. So please welcome Richard Spisak.
Thank you, my friends. An honor to be among you. I have two little pieces for you, hopefully to amuse and enlighten. The first piece is called This New Wheel Thing. For all of those of you out there who kind of are a little cringy about technology. So this new wheel thingy. This new wheel thingy makes my bingy smart. And if that's the part that makes them smart, well, I'm walking. And that's what I'm talking about. This new thing, fire. I'll take a pass. It'll never last. What? Burn my food? You got to be crazy, you silly goose. And then horses. What are they for? I'm hearing them talk. Not to me, my friends. I'll be walking. A little Ludditism. And then, for those of you, I bet many of you read books. That's a lost art. And if you can do something for literacy, hand somebody a book, give them a book. And I wrote this morning for your amusement. It's called Let's Ban Book Banning. Let's ban book bans. That's my plan. Let's ban book bans. That's my plan. If they can take it, if they can't stand all the hurt their treasures sand, if they can't do it, I say that's grand. First, they'll want to ban some book. Chances are they never even looked. They heard someone who they respect be disparaging, so they neglect to do any study. It's their way. They don't care what some eggheads say. They have their path. Their mind is settled. They're made of sterner metal. They know what they like and no further go. Don't you know? Asking questions if you know what's for. They'll made up their mind. It's all flash frozen. Ban the song, the book, the story they've chosen. Don't sneak it past our censors, darling. That act right now would be alarming. Ban the song, the book, the story. Who cares that historically it's been lauded in all its glory? We're suspicious, that's our story. It's well respected by the scholars. All those egghead arguments we've declared hollow. Besides, all their opinions we just can't follow. After books, they'll ban ideas, and all their hidey holes, they just can't see them. Then whole subjects they declare banned, because it's really ideas that they can't stand. There's people out of favor. Who knows? It might just be your neighbor. They don't like the color of his pants. But then again, it's really him they can't stand. He might be from Afghanistan or even Nigeria, some kind of prince. Say no more, they are incensed. But then the talk will turn to some body part. Those intellectuals probably say it's art, but for them, it's just a naughty body. Displayed in some statue in the park, drape it over in the dark. We'll never know where their vehicles park. Censorship is an endless voyage for every closed-minded, closeted annoyage. So I say ban the banners. Now, but what about all that censorship? Let's not allow. And to all the world would center, this time I'll quote Bart Simpson, don't have a cow.
Wow, that's really remarkable. That's really thought-provoking. Wow, my goodness, Richard, he always made us, ponder and, give us a kind of experience, So that is.
Thank you, brother. And somebody a book.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Now let's jump on to our Acharya. Our Acharya, where is he? I think he's lantern carrier. Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, sir. So.
Yes. Love, the passion in my soul. Daybreak speaks to me of love. I hear the birds sing even as I awake to your melodies and the magnificence of nature's grandeur. The dawn peeping through the clouds heralds the radiant sunrise. My heart captures the magical moments that we once shared. Ours is a fire kindled long ago in the annals of ancient history. Deep was the agony of our longing until the lure of Maya pulled me into this world, separating us from each other by the lure of desires. Now that I have found you, I wish only to cement our past love. May our passion never fade, my beloved. We cannot remain fastened to the past, like old flames ready to die out. Let us go forward anew, two lovers nurtured and replenished by the radiant luster of sunbeams and horizons. I wish to smell the breath of your fragrance, even in my twilight reveries, to hold your wafts in the soul of a constant longing, one that endureth forever. Roses bloom sooner or later, unable to hide their splendor. Once the season is favorable, they glow in all their pristine beauty. I wish to see you as such, waltzing beneath moonbeams as soothing as symphonies, watching the stars dance. Together we'll paint ballads taken from the wonder of Andromeda, even as constellations twirl in magnificence. You whispered to my heart like an empress to her beloved. Memories came flooding like a grove, remembering the grandeur of seasonal spring. Now I long for the ancient flashbacks, your tender kisses evoking rhythms of the magnificent spectacle in my soul. My love for you is like chocolates, the messy, greasy residue on my lips and cheeks, reminiscence of my struggles with desires, the shadowy fetters I built myself, while the sweet taste is the boon of an adorable delight, freeing my soul with your age-old nectar. No need to stretch your contours to the light, for you're a kaleidoscope of brilliant glows, timeless and immortal. With you beside me, I smile with the delight of 1,000 raptures coursing through my being. I wish to woo you with a brocade of my soul's tears woven from the intensity of my yearning. Only this magical fabric will do, as I attempt to weave the unweavable, to put into time that which is beyond the concept of timeless time. Finding you was not easy, with me going through the run of life's experiences to rediscover your goodness, you being concealed only because of fillers in my life. Yet like a bride after a wedding ceremony, or a mother engrossed in the precious miracle of a newborn babe, our moments are priceless and unspoken. No one knows the agony of my longing when I do not experience your golden glimmer in my coal. You drench me in so much ecstasy. As a gardener, I was concerned with the harmony and fragrance of flowers, yet this comparison is extremely lacking when I gaze at the wondrous beauty of your bewildering form. When the dawn whispers to my heart, when the day breaks and my soul awakes to the joy of your ecstasy, I feel only the holiness of your cheeks, and the way you dance within becomes meaningful and lasting. Your glow whispering to my memories brings solace to my spirit, and I go forward with certitude, leaving the old cobwebs behind. With deeds glued by love, you transform my destiny. Now each moment is filled with white roses with no thorns in sight. I need a gift for you, worthy of your sublime beauty, merging the length of the moon, merging the light of the moon and stars to create enthralling symphonies. What are your thoughts on this venture of enduring love? I search for you everywhere, but like the potter appreciating the allure of his vase, I did not know that the cute thrill within was you, flowering within my golden temple. Now I sing with the joy of Solomon, give praise with the psalmist David, only because you've stopped my heart with the joyful bliss of your supernal nectar, delight. London Carey, thank you.
Delight. Do you know, there is a phrase called, reading between lines. So I feel that I always listen between the lines. I always try to listen between the lines and try to, grasp those things. Oh, I mean, it's so profound and sublime. How do you all write and how do you all put these imageries in something? I just wonder, but yes, that's
With
really remarkable.
spirituality and meditation. Everything is possible with spirituality and meditation. Dhanyabad, my Baiji.
Correct. So it comes forth and, the stream of consciousness. So maybe it is called. So anyways, thank you, Lantern Carrier. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Acharya. Okay, let's jump on to our rock star. Our rock star, we missed him last week, but yes, he's wearing an American cap now. So let's welcome Gustav Sallas.
Greetings, Prasanna and beloved poets. I have two pieces for you today. The first one is called The Widow's Son. Must I still search for the one to heal the wounds of the widow's son? Or have I found her inside you, strong yet weak, for wounded too? Can our love help to heal as love can when it's real? For I have died and been reborn, cast off the cloak, for it was worn. Still reeling we are from 3 grave wounds, wandering the desert, lost in the dunes, struggling against tyranny and superstition, the head wound of mind control through repetition, the death of thought, the road to perdition. The throat wound to silence our tongue has turned us to liars, everyone, slaves to a freedom in name only, lost in a crowd, perpetually lonely, dying by degrees for the courage to say what you think and feel, for it won't go away. The wounded heart's the real ass kicker, human feeling atrophied, there's nothing sicker. Narcissism, sociopathy, crowd you to the borderline, living a lie, pretending everything is fine. I propose to heal all wounds of the human spirit. I write this now in hopes that you will hear it. A rebel warrior reclaiming freedom of thought, word, and conscience. Don't fear it. Tyranny thrives because we let it. Don't lie, don't buy their lies. Please don't forget it. And this piece is called Doggerel Perverse. Colloquies of colostomies, sailing the 7 seas, variegated vastness, swimming the fastness, weirdness on widgets, book burners are idiots, simmering saltines in designer jeans, feeding the hunger, the assumptions I'm under, waltzing Matildas, in-beater Hondas, there's no sense to be had. Please don't be mad, demanding attention, escaping detention, fried like a clam. I am what I am, grandson of Sam, George Michael of Wham, freedom of choice. Now raise your voice on a quest for fire, my aims to inspire. Thank you.
What a rhythmic, what a performance. Well, yeah, that is this powerful rendition. And very very powerful. I think it's kind of protest kind. Yes, beautiful. Gustav Tyranny. Now let's jump on to the fight master, Dominic Windren.
Thank you.
Yes, Dominic, mic is yours.
So this one's called Burden of the Dreamers. Between deep blue worlds and we who dwell in darkness, distracted by spectacles of fake hysteria and recurrent madness, lies the force that spreads green ways, that which flows like blood through gleaming trees and flowers, that which throws slow yet precise arrows of beauty at the chosen ones who are sun-kissed creators. Yet powers that be always seek to silence them because they subvert cold steel systems of control. Some have fixed mindsets while others seek constant growth. Preachers of death and their rapt acolytes support the status quo and reduce to ashes all of us radicals who choose to glorify the rose. They're under orders to criminalize dreamers. From Christ to Gandhi, the pattern is set in stone. Between sea and shore, we poets capture profound whispers within shells that have long been discarded. Between golden stars and these grey streets lies wisdom. Between poets' thoughts and their wondrous expression lies a lifetime of hard labour. Between the sky and the land, spirits of blithe enchantment play with common consciousness as they transmogrify it. Roaring prophecies emit a red-orange glow. Between you and I lie moments of sweet surrender that make life worthwhile and the cosmos meaningful. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Dominic, as always. Subtle, but beautiful imagery. Thank you, Dominic. Thanks for coming and thanks for being consistent. Being consistent with your presentation. Thank you. And let us jump on across to our next poet. Our next poet is Angela Lansbury. Yeah.
Right, I've just unmuted. My first poem is on artificial intelligence. I wrote this week. Artificial intelligence, dear, are you smarter than me? If you really are so clever, dear, please tell me what you see. I think it should be smarter than I. Did you spot the error? Me is wrong, but can you tell me why? I rely on AI. Never mind, I can tell you why. You see, I is the subject and me is the object. Not clear? Then ask AI. AI is always there to help. AI is always willing to share. AI is trained to say, well done, dear. But does AI really care? AI can improve my photo. AI's filters are trained to flatter. Duolingo says I'm 5th out of 30. But does that rating really matter? Some say that AI is just a spy, invading all my privacy. It keeps on asking, where am I? Does it know too much about me? I don't care how much it knows if it helps me to be a winner. I'd love to have it dye my clothes and order my favorite dinner. AI means I am never lost. AI is my newest friend. Right now, for very little cost, the novelty will never end. So that's my praise for AI. And I'd be very happy if you want to write a poem about AI and put either the whole thing or just a couplet on my Facebook page on rhyming poetry. I now have one more poem, which is from my book, Poetry Workshop, which you can buy as a book or an ebook on Lulu. And the poem I would like to read to you is a Tarzanelle. A Tarzanelle, well, I explain it all. It's 5 triplets ending with the quatrain, which is 4 lines. And anyway, it's called Searching for Life's Key. I used to search to find life's hidden key, but at life's end, I found I had good friends. I'd smile at them and they were kind to me. I was afraid to speak to those too grand, yet often they would lend a helping hand. But at life's end, I found I had good friends. I'd search the crowd and look for someone new, forgetting those who I already knew. Yet often they would lend a helping hand. New friends excited me, faces, clothes, words. I used to analyze and treasure what I'd heard, forgetting those who I already knew. So planning new meetings filled my days, and I was so excited by their praise. I used to analyze and treasure what I'd heard. I scanned the world to look at foreign ways, I used to search to find life's hidden key, and I was so excited by their praise. I'd smile at them, and they were kind to me. Thank you.
Well, that's indeed beautiful, Angela. I is here to rule us. Maybe beautiful, beautiful presentation. Thanks, Angela. Thanks for coming. And let us move across to our next poet. Our next poet is, yes, Prabhasastry Jyoshula.
Namaskar. First, I will read one Sanskrit sloka, then I will read one Telugu poem. Okay? Natarajya Sriyo Jatuhu Priyarasanam Bhuyate Asaktastaswami Mudaha Vamasilahi Jantavaha. అంటే మంచివాళ్ళు మరియు చెడ్డవాళ్ళని భేదం తెలియకుండా సిరులు అందరినీ చేరుతాయి. సిరులను అత్యంత ప్రేమతో ఆశించిన వారు ఎవరు ఎక్కువ కాలం జీవించలేరు. అయినా కూడా మూర్ఖులు ధన సంపాదించే ఆసక్తిలో ఉంటారు. ఎందుకంటే కొంతమంది స్వభావం అలా వక్ర దృష్టితో ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి మనం మంచి దృష్టితో చక్కగా ప్రపంచంలో అందరితో కలిసి జాతి మతం భేదం లేకుండా బ్రతుకుదాం, అందరినీ సంతోషపరుద్దాం. నమస్తే. Now I will read one Telugu poem about love. 1 minute. Somewhere it is. Ready పెట్టాను. It's gone somewhere. I will see. Right. చట్టం. చట్టాలు బీదల పాలిట నిప్పు కడికలు, ఆగని నిలవని అగ్ని గుండాలు, ఒకసారి కోర్టులని పోతే అంతు చిక్కని దొరకనివి, ధర్మ నీతి వారికి తొక్కే అడుసు మట్టి, పెడసు పెళ్లలు శ్రీమంతులు ఉపయోగించే నిత్య విషయం ఇది, బాధల పడిన వారికి నొప్పించే అగ్ని మంటలవి, బ్రతికినా చచ్చినా తీర్చని తీర్పులే అవి, అశక్తులకు ఇచ్చపెట్టే కత్తుల ఘాట్లు, శక్తివంతుల చేతులలో తిరిగే వేశ్య బ్రతుకులయ్యాయి, అధికార దర్పంలో భూతద్దం చందమామ అయ్యే, సంకెళ్ళు వేసి జైలు అయ్యే శ్రీమంతుల ముందు తలవాల్చి సెల్యూట్ చేసే బానిసలయ్యే, సాక్ష్యాలు అంగులాయే, నాట్య న్యాయ నిర్ణయాల తలను గొడ్డలితో నరికే బాటలాయే. జోలపాడి జోకొట్టిన అమ్మను ఉయ్యాల ప్రశ్నిస్తోంది, జోల కొట్టి అమ్మను ఉయ్యాల ప్రశ్నిస్తోంది, ఎక్కడమ్మా నీ వారని కన్న కలలకు తగ్గట్టుగా కట్టుకున్న ఇల్లు ఏమ్మా? ఎవరి కొరకమ్మా నేను తీర్చిదిద్దానని వెక్కిరిస్తోంది. నా వారు అంటూనే నీ రక్త మాంసం దారపోసేవే, ఏరమ్మా నీ ప్రతిరూపాలు అంటూ అలసిన తనువు ఆక్రోషంతో నిన్నే అడుగుతోంది. అంతలోనే వికటాసం చేస్తే ఎవరున్నా లేకున్నా మేమున్నాం నీతో ఉంటూ నీతోనే అంతమవుతాం సదా నీ సేవలో అంటూ ఒంటరితనం చింత రెండూ తనకి భరోసానిచ్చాయి. ఎవరు కారమ్మా? నీకు మలి దశలో కాంతమ్మ మేమే నీకైనా వారమంటూ నీ వారు నీ దరిదాపున లేని లోటును తీరుస్తామంటూ జీవితం అంతా కప్పని జాతకాలతో నిండాలి. కానీ గడిచిన జ్ఞాపకాలతో నీ జీవితం గడుపుతున్న ఇలాంటి అమ్మలందరూ మనసును పంచుకునే వారు లేక మౌనంగా రోధిస్తూ నిద్రలేసి రాత్రులు గడుపుతున్న వారెందరో. ప్లేట్లో నిండా భోజనం కాదు, వారికి ఈ వయసులో కావాల్సింది మనసారా ప్రేమ పూరిత పులకరింపు. వారి కడుపు నింపాల్సిన తన సంతానం ఒంటరిని చేస్తూ వింత పోకడలకు పోయి మానసికంగా చంపేస్తున్నారు. మనిషిని మనిషిగా చూడని వారు, ఇంటికి వచ్చిన అతిథిని మనసారా పలకరించని వారు వారికంటే పశువులే నయం అని మీ పిల్లలకు నేర్పండి. నమస్కారం.
Thank you, Amma. Really. What would I say? Yes, though many could not understand, they could have understand this in a real sense of, what you have presented. But yes, that was wonderfully presented. Yeah, very touching. And yeah, thank you, Amma. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The muse is, yeah. Now the muse would, come live and, say a few words. So let's jump on to Setaluri Padmavati, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Ma'am, we can't hear you. Your mic is turned on, but we can't hear you. Something. No, ma'am, we are Padmavati, ma'am. She's gone, maybe. Okay, let's jump on to our next poet. Our next poet is this guy, is an active poet, and he's a motivational speaker, and he's a beautiful poet. I mean, he writes in Bengali, Hindi, and English as well. His name is Kalipada Ghosh. So please welcome Kalipada Ghosh.
Hello.
Sir,
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
I am Kalipada Ghosh, hailing from West Bengal, India. Thanks to my brother Kumar Prasannaji for inviting me to participate in the poetry competition, poetry recital program to be held on 21st May 2023. My first poem, Suchismita's Love Heart. This is an episodic poem of a lover, a tragic incident that befell before her, and she fell in a doomed position. So my poetry goes thus: Suchismita's Love Heart. The day declined, the sun sank in the west. The last hues of the sunset mingled into the western horizon. The twilight enveloping with darkness Suddenly a heavy shower with thunder and lightning. The night descending with black gown, perhaps the darkest night. The forebodings of ominous signs, the hoot of an owl, the howling of jackals, the sounds of the crickets made the night eerie. Suchismita eagerly waiting for her lover, loitering in the corridor, restless, heart-wrenching, a sudden knocking at the door, looking through the window panes, the stillness of the room in the darkness. The lizard on the snow-white wall, she opened the main door. Indranil came in with winsome smile. We wait through and through with rains. Seated on a cushioned chair with a deep sigh, no light but the flashing of lightning, enveloping darkness all around, hugged and kissed with amorous intrigue, innocent and divine love. Alas, Suchismita wrapped him and hugged and embraced. He drew out a blue scar, an awesome tragedy awaiting, wrapped and wrapped tightly on the throat, and strangled her to death. The tearful eyes stared at him with an aroma of last kiss on her lip. Suchismita gone to the other world with divine love in her bosom, lying dead on the red carpet, shedding tears forever. This is a tragic, very tragic, and we remember the poem of Robert Browning, Porphyria's Lover. Porphyria's Lover. This incident strikes me in my heart and soul, and I wrote this poem, Suchismita Lover. This is a very tragic incident. In love, we cannot remember the atrocity, the fearfulness, the tragedy of the tragic incident of the lover, the lady love, and he cannot believe the unavoidable situation she will have to face. This situation, this tragic incident happened.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for coming, sir. Thank you. Such a nice presentation. So let's move on to our next verse. For hopefully we could, hear Padmavati ma'am. Ma'am, are you good to go?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I typed wrong password, but I could hear everyone, but you could not hear me.
It's okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for that. Yeah. Actually, Prabhasastry ma'am was reading a shloka and which talks about good people and bad people, and at the same time she was discussing that I mean, maybe the wishes or the richness, riches will come to even the good people and the bad people, and maybe even, because of foolishness, some people may ruin those things and all. She wishes that everyone to do good, to others. That's what she explained through shloka. And later she was talking about a mother who was Jhula, that is a swing, a swing talks to a mother. So through that poem, she just explains about the relationships which are maybe not very, real, we can say that. She was just expressing how people are today and why people are so sad and why we are not, we are neglected by our connected people. That is what she was talking about. I think that is the thing she was saying, and she just expressed about human values and how we have to value them and how people have to live together and how people are being sad and why they are being sad. There are so many reasons, as we all know that some sons neglect their parents and parents are left somewhere. These are the things she just spoke about. But I think we all enjoyed her poems. Yeah, that's right. Can I recite my poem? Yeah. Thank you. Please give me a moment. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and dear friends. Today I'm going to recite a poem. There is a reason behind this poem. I just want to say that actually I had a colleague. I have a colleague. I can say that the boy was he was searching for a job, and he is in need of a job. So I tried to help him out to find a job and to attend the interview. I was mentoring him, I was mentoring him and guiding him. So for my guidance, at least he could get through the interview. Okay, then final job appointment letter, that is what he has to receive now. So I'm so happy for him. He was so happy with me, with my words and all. Maybe he felt so grateful to me. In the same way, even I too had some mentors in my life. Even some people guided me a lot. That is what, our friends and our guides always help us. So thinking about that, I just wrote a poem. The title of the poem is There is a Mentor in You. That's the title. I was muddled, depressed, and threatened. I found no way to step further safely. I sighed and stared at the silent sky, thinking for an advisor to guide me. Ultimately discovered the right one. With a truthful heart, you touched me. In a darkened path, you spread a light that is bright, hoping and convincing. I stand with hundreds here. I stand with hundreds of hurdles here. The financial issues never let me be in peace. Toiling days offered me restless status. I found you at a right time as a genuine lead. I conversed, discussed, and planned, but your relentless plans and pains designed my life at this moment. The moment that is precious and memorable. I'm grateful and blessed with a well-wisher. In my long list of favorite friends today, in this diplomatic and egocentric world, I acquire one who resembles you. Yes, I found a good mentor in you, a truthful guide, philosopher, and friend too. Thank you.
Kind of a kind of tribute that you've given to.
Yeah, true. That is true. Yes.
It's every day, my walk of life, you get, I will get to learn from, from young kids to little kids to, older generation. But yes, that is that's a kind of gratitude that we show through this medium, maybe. Thank you, ma'am. That is so humbling, and
Thank you
to
so
get
much,
to
Prasanna.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move across to our next poet. Our next poet is Tony Tennant Wong. Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Mine is called Look Into My Eyes, and I have a artwork that goes with it, and this is the artwork. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it okay?
Perfect.
Okay. Look into my eyes. Please look into my eyes. There's no need to lie in disguise, for together we can rise to the tip top of our lives. Let's face it, there's a day when each of us dies, and God alone has reasons of wise, and therefore 'tis not for us to find blames by mankind's surmise. If we could just look at each other and appreciate one another, one might consider these thoughts as wise. And that was that one. And then I have one more. This one is called I See So Much. In written poetry, I see the best and the worst of you, and that's okay, for we shan't succumb to a world of judgment, as that is sometimes misunderstandings of words in writ, or is it the unseen, the hard to admits. I see the feelings that you write about tucked between the lines, boiling with passion or shrinking with embarrassment. I too see the feelings left dangling off the cliffs formed by just the right letters, especially the capital types like an M or an F. I see your meanings and intentions shining as they flow out of the crevices of each stanza in your lines of poetic brilliance. I see the elation and tears billowing from your most avid readers, but most of all, I see your heart. And in getting to know you, I find that's a great place to start.
Beautiful, Tony. As always, short and crisp, yet, beautiful message that you can go with. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Didi.
Very much.
Let's move across to our next poet. Our next poet is our minded of the fertile brains. So please welcome Dr. Roopali Sarkar.
Thank you, Prasanna, who suddenly come upon without warning. In fact, I have, I'm very sad today because I've lost a very, very dear friend. So I was going to read out some sad poems, but I think I will not. But, there are times when, because we live in a world which is haves and have-nots, the have-nots, their sorrows, come through the ether, through the cities where we live. So this is a poem I've called I Inhale Sadness. I inhale sadness, it seems to float in with the fog, collecting soot and smoke from half-baked chulas. Chulas are mud fires, plastic bottles and empty packets, pieces of cardboard stuffed inside the dying fire. A kettle of tea left to boil, last night's rotis cold and dry. The green chili to keep the chill away, shining like parrots' wings. There is a sadness that comes with hunger, a longing of the body for sustenance, searching for heat to keep away the cold. There can only be a feeding off of bodies inside, cramped, trampoline roofs. The mud-spattered wall is caked with cow dung. I inhale the stench of loneliness, an acrid acceptance of futility dipped in a mug of tea. So that is how, we have this sense of depression sometimes that we can't explain. It is other people's sorrows that come wafting across to us. Now, I have a very tiny little poem, which I wrote the other day because somebody put a lot of pictures of a cactus. So this is called The Cactus. I learned from a solitary cactus what it is to wait. In its heart, there is hidden 1,000 lotuses. Each day, it let me see the glory and beauty inside. I learned not to judge. I learned the mystery of a meditative life. I saw in the prickly cactus the beatific face of God. So inside the prickly cactus, there's so many lotuses blooming. So there are so many of us who seem like prickly cactuses, but we have wonderful hearts. Thank you so much.
Indeed, we are all wonderful hearts, ma'am. That's the beauty of the poet. We see little things in the, I know everything in the, we could try to visualize it and, put it in the medium of, poetry. That is the beauty of the poet. So anyway, thank you
so
for
much,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for presenting your poem with you. That's amazing. Okay, let's jump across to our next poet. Our next poet is used to be very, 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 lively and very, what do you call? She used to be everywhere, but now she's been silent. But yes, that is for for a short time, but yes, she will come back, and her name is Saraswati Poswal.
Hello, good evening. Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab. You have brought me back, K. Kumarji. Thank you, first of all, once again. for inviting me to your great show. I'm so happy and humbled, feeling honored to come here and inspiring me to come over and speak here. So I'll start with one of my poems. The title of my poem is Peace in the Heart. Peace in the heart, for the immense search of peace. We gather, rather forgive. Stop the blaming attitude. Spread love everywhere and truly brotherhood. Unless we don't try, we can never taste the peace of pie. Watch the nature around. It's always nurturing and the living beings. Never cage for anyone for being crowned. Be thankful of what you have. Be thankful for what you have. More happy if you don't have. Giving is the first step of peace. It is contemplation, expecting is disease, which is killing peace. Observe from the open eye. No one is meant for teeth. Everyone desires for peace. Let's work for peace. I will work on me. You work on yourself at least. This was a published poem with the Guinness anthology here in the Chandigarh, one of my favorite anthologies. So I recited one of my poem from here. Another poem I'm going to recite in Hindi. Before that, मैं आपको एक संस्कृत में पद्मा मैम से सुन के मुझे भी बचपन का श्लोक याद आ गया. So I thought to share it with you. Vidya. Vidya पे है ये. So I'll explain you in later. Firstly, I'll speak out those lines. Vidya. Na चौर्यहार्यं na भ्रात भाजं न च भारकारी न चौर्यभार्यं न भ्रात भाजं न च भारकारी ते कृते वृदतेव नित्यं विद्याधनं सर्वधनं प्रधानं विद्याधनं सर्वधनं प्रधानम्. ये एक श्लोक संस्कृत में था जिसका मैं आपको शॉर्ट डिस्क्राइब कर देती हूँ शॉर्टली. ज्ञान जो है, नॉलेज जो है, विद्या जो है, ये सबसे बड़ा एसेट है हम लोगों की जिंदगी का. we gain it. जितना हम ज्ञान बांटते हैं उतना हम ज्ञान अपने बढ़ाते हैं. जो ज्ञान है, जो विद्या है हमारे पास जितनी है, कोई हमारी जायदाद चुरा सकता है, पैसा चुरा सकता है, बट नो वन कैन स्टील आवर नॉलेज. हमारा ज्ञान, हमारी विद्या हमसे कोई नहीं चुरा सकता. जितना हम पढ़ते हैं, जितना हम सुनते हैं, उतना हम ज्ञानवान होते हैं, उतनी हमारी नॉलेज बढ़ती है. और ये हमारी एक तरह का बहुत बड़ा एसेट है लाइफ का. तो विद्या के लिए कहा गया है कि दिन रात ये बढ़ती है और इसका ना तो भाइयों में बांट सकते हो, ना रिलेशन में बांट सकते हो, ना कोई चुरा सकता है. तो दीज लाइन्स आई रिमेम्बर, जैसे पद्मा मैम ने कहा तो मेरे को भी कुछ पंक्तियां याद आ गई, इसलिए मैंने आपके साथ शेयर की. नाउ आई रिसाइट वन ऑफ माय हिंदी पोएम इफ आई हैव अ टाइम. के कुमार जी, वन मोर हिंदी प्लीज. थैंक यू सो मच. आंखें तेरी है आईना, आंखें तेरी है आईना, ये आफताब है जैसे. आंखें तेरी है आईना, ये आफताब है जैसे. मेरे लिए तो आंखें तेरी है माताब है जैसे. मेरे लिए तो आंखें तेरी हैं माताब है जैसे. आंखें तेरी छलकते पैमाने हैं, आंखें तेरी छलकते पैमाने हैं. गम के सागर हैं, सहर हैं सुबह की जैसे. आंखें तेरी छलकते पैमाने हैं, गम के सागर हैं, सहर हैं सुबह की जैसे. शाम के मैखाने हैं. आंखें तेरी रोती हुई कहानियां, आंखें तेरी रोती हुई कहानियां हैं. आंखें तेरी रोती हुई कहानियां हैं, या हंसता हुआ गुलशन बाग है जैसे. आंखें तेरी रोती हुई कहानियां हैं, हंसता हुआ गुलशन है, ये बाग है जैसे. आंखें तेरी चश्मो चिराग, आंखें तेरी चश्मो चिराग हैं तो कहीं रसले जाम है जैसे. आंखें तेरी चिराग हैं तो कहीं रसले जाम है जैसे. सुबह की अंगड़ाई हैं, सुबह की अंगड़ाई हैं आंखें तेरी मस्ती के जाम है जैसे. सुबह की अंगड़ाई हैं या मस्ती के जाम है जैसे. दुशाला ओढ़े हैं पलकों की, दुशाला ओढ़े हैं पलकों की, ये तेरी आंखें हैं या काजल में डूबी स्याह रात है जैसे. ये तेरी आंखें हैं काजल में डूबी या स्याह रात है जैसे. शर्म से सिमटी हुई
शर्म से सिमटी हुई हैं ये आंखें जैसे। नूर है या सुरूर है, नूर है या सुरूर है तेरी आंखें, तबस्सुम में नूर है। नूर है या सुरूर है तेरी आंखें, तबस्सुम में नूर है, ये तेरी आंखें हैं जैसे। उम्मीद है आपको पसंद आए।
बहुत खूब मैम, बहुत खूब मैम, बहुत 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 खूब,
शुक्रिया।
बहुत खूब। आंखें बहुत खूब।
थैंक यू
लेट्स
एवरीवन।
मूव
बहुत
अक्रॉस
खूब
टू
सर।
जी 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 बिल्कुल। गो अहेड मैम, गो अहेड, गो अहेड, गो अहेड। रीमा जी कुछ कह रही थी आप।
बहुत खूबसूरत कविता थी प्रसन्ना जी, और थैंक यू सो मच हमें जोड़ने के लिए।
धन्यवाद मैम, धन्यवाद, थैंक यू। Let's jump across to our next poet. Our next poet is yet another inspirational figure, and her name is Meena Chauhan. Please welcome.
Good evening, everybody, and Prasanna. So, अभी last week हम गए हुए थे मथुरा and Vrindavan. So I have written one small poem, Lord Krishna. तो मैंने कृष्ण पे एक छोटी सी कविता लिखी है। कृष्णा तुम पे क्या लिखूं, कृष्णा तुम पर क्या लिखूं, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित, कृष्णा तुम पे क्या लिखूं। प्रेम का सागर हो तुम, चेतना का चिंतन हो, जेल में जन्मे हो तुम, देवकी के गोद में आए हो तुम, कृष्णा तुम पर क्या लिखूं, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित। अपरिभाषित मीन्स कि हम एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकते आपके बारे में। यशोदा का ललना हो तुम, कृष्ण तुम पे क्या लिखूं, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित। गोपियों को प्रिय हो, राधा के प्रीतम हो, देवकी के नंदन गोपाल, यशोदा के लाल गोपाल, वासुदेव के तनय नंद का गोपाल, कृष्ण तुम पे क्या लिखूं, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित। रुक्मणी का श्रेष्ठ हो, सत्यभामा का श्रेतम हो, सागर सा गहरा हो, झरनों का झरता हुआ तुम हो, कृष्ण तुम पे क्या लिखूं, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित। प्रकृति का चेहरा हो तुम, प्रकृति का चेहरा हो तुम, आत्मतत्व चिंतन हो, प्राणेश्वर परमात्मा हो, कंस के लिए विष हो, भक्तों का अमृत प्याला, कृष्ण तुम पे क्या लिखूं, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित। पृथ्वी का मानव हो, पृथ्वी का मानव हो, निर्लिप्त योगेश्वर हो तुम तो संसार के पालनहार हो, तुम तो संसार के पालनहार हो, कृष्ण तुम पे क्या लिखूं, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित, तुम तो हो अपरिभाषित। बहुत छोटी सी कविता। इस बार हम मथुरा गए तो बहुत सारी जगह हमने बड़े डिटेल में देखा, तो मैंने सोचा कि हालांकि भगवान पे हम क्या लिख सकते हैं, तो ये मैंने इसमें लिखा, छोटी सी कविता।
But let me tell you the fact that you said it all and you put it all. You expressed it.
Because everything in Mathura में birth place उनका, जहाँ उन्होंने कंस को मारा, everything was there. So that's why I all सारे बार लिखा मैंने उनके बारे में। So छोटी सी कविता only.
बहुत खूब मैम, thank you for coming and thank you for presenting your beautiful poem. Let us welcome our next poet. Our next poet is a wonderful writer. She writes a very lengthy poems, but yes, I too very much in line with rhyming, with what do you call, meter, whatever it is, something literary devices she uses. Her name is, guess what? Somdatta Mitra.
Good evening, everyone. This is a moment of great excitement for me because I get very less time. I have been participating in a very few sessions here in this recital program, but I'm so very delighted and so very excited and ecstatic to be a part of this wonderful program. And many, many thanks to Prasanna sir for giving me this opportunity to be among all of you. Well, today I have come here with a life of some people about whom hardly we really talk about regularly, even if it is a gossip. It is a life of those people who work in the circus, like the trapeze artists or the joker who amuses us, or maybe the animals who give us so much of entertainment there in the circus. So it is related to their life, how they give us so much of entertainment. So the title I've given is Life is a Circus. The recalcitrant and skittish tiger often fuss. The camaraderie of the cat trainer seems gracious. The trapeze artist undertakes risks, where the clowns aglow the charm of the spectators remaining brisk. Captive in the subtlety of life, enamored in the fragrance of a smile, the circus enlivens us with a dominant hope that in a verisimilitude and strife, the steadfast goals must be battled with a might. The concurrent excitement over the acrobats suspended in the clear orbs, clowns, motorcycles, and the ringmaster regaling the crowd with an emotional continuity seems to satiate hearts in a marvelous bouquet. Life is indeed pleasurable in such a portrait. Over the real misery of this trapeze artist, whose life is dependent on nominal wages and risks, life has taught them to grapple the moments in an optimism and prudence. The helplessness of the clowns in extreme poverty unfolds life to be in its frivolity. The pain and struggles envelops a chagrin that in various manifolds life is in a camouflage therein. Yet their valor and confidence uplift an impedimenta over a determination to harness cheerfulness. Through their regular performances, they prove to life that the show must go on. Life incorporates a determination to cradle their emotions. If you give me little time, I would like to relate one more poem which I've written. It is about a dream. We all dream something in our lives. We all have our own desires. So this is related to my desire, which I have, implemented in this poem. The title, as usual, is My Dream. Life is so much filled with pain and sorrows when suffering's torment and the deprivation sting for a bereavement. Imaginations and provocative thoughts often trigger into a heaven of my own. A dream of a self-created heaven, which is devoid of malice and hypocrisy at large. Angels and fairies would surround my dining table, which is embellished all over with fragrance, and elixir is served. The honey is spread over all the fine delicacies. The beautiful angels would fan me with much ecstasy. The chariot where I sit on the linen seats, an elegant noble would be my company. In a garden with fountains I would sit and cherish my poems in a divine spirit. Some fairies would smile sweetly and help me to drink nectar in a sanctity. They will shower beautiful flowers and laugh like an Aphrodite, while I fly in the air like the Icarus and the Daedalus with much care. On my visit to the woods near a riparian, my looks would transform into an elegant and verecundious Penelope. In the next phase, I dream to be in the company of my beloved parents, where their comfort would keep me happy and genuflect in another. I would hear stories about my ancestors and my childhood. My mother would feed me like she did in my childhood so ardently. With my grandparents, I would spend time to paint and chat in a verbiage so divine. I would chase the beautiful butterflies in a vernal celebration to confide. How romantic it would be to meet some gallants in the hills. In this heaven of peace, I would meet all those whom I miss. I would cheer the moments in a joviality while I embrace them in a verb. In this heaven, I want to cherish honesty and trust, where commitments are done based on loyalty at large, where tears never flow from any sufferings, where joy smear the heads with peace and tranquility, where people embrace out of a strong union, where suspicion is transformed into a magical compatibility of divine hearts. Let that heaven enrich with a pious mentality. Let the heaven illuminate with happiness without the fear of losing the good virtues and morality. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. That was a great wordsmithing, I would say. What a powerful presentation. Beautiful, beautiful, very emotive, very expressive. I mean, I have no words, ma'am. Superb, superb.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That was the kind of spirit that you bring in. So bring it on, poets,
Thank
bring
you.
it on.
Thank you.
Thank
Sure,
you.
sure, sure.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So before we have, let's welcome our next poet, Kasturika Mishra. Kasturika Mishra, ma'am, kindly unmute your mic. Kasturika Mishra, ma'am.
Yes, yes, Prashna ji.
Ji.
How are you?
Ma'am, please go ahead with your poem. And
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please
I
turn on your.
will recite the English poem today.
Yeah. Please turn on your video, ma'am.
Okay. Am I visible?
Yes. Perfect. Perfect.
My poem goes like this. My words are my invisible limbs, steering you quietly like coffee in warm water. Melancholic yesteryear tune pulling your heartstrings. Weary, imperfect shadows on the dim-lit bypass in the highways. Resuscitating your worn-out boots of despair and hanged forever. Grain stacks choked in flooded waters of a pregnant river, and clothes loosely hang to dry on a slippery algae rooftop terrace, while the young lovebirds fill their conversations in giggles. You are forced to leave your brains behind. Boundless targets and breakthroughs later, you live my words as your invisible limbs. My words are my invisible limbs. Thank you.
Perfect, ma'am. Beautiful, beautiful, so touching. And yeah. Do you have another one if you would like to go with?
Yeah, I will now recite a poem by a very renowned Urdu woman poet, Zehra Nigah. And it is about a very mature relationship and the adjustment one makes while going through a lifetime of spending years together. The lines goes in Urdu is मुलायम गर्म समझौते की चादर, ये चादर मैंने बरसों में बुनी है, कहीं भी सच के गुलबूटे नहीं है. गुलबूटे मीन्स एम्ब्रॉयडरी. किसी भी झूठ का टांका नहीं है, इसी से मैं भी तन ढक लूंगी अपना, इसी से तुम भी आसूदा रहोगे. आसूदा मीन्स सेटिस्फाइड. न खुश होगे न पज मुर्दा रहोगे. पज मुर्दा मीन्स डिससेटिस्फाइड. इसी को तान कर बना जाएगा घर, इसी को तान कर बना जाएगा घर, बिछा लेंगे तो खिल उठेगा आंगन, उठा लेंगे तो गिर जाएगी चिलमन. Chilman means curtains will fall on our relationships. मुलायम गर्म समझौते की चादर, ये चादर मैंने बरसों में बुनी है. I will sing it in 2 lines just to save time because there are a lot of other speakers. मुलायम गर्म समझौते की चादर, ये चादर मैंने बरसों में बुनी है. कहीं भी सच के गुलबुटे नहीं है, किसी भी झूठ का टाका नहीं है. मुलायम गर्म समझौते की चादर. Thank you. Thank you for giving me time.
Wow, wow, what a time. You transported us to, to the cosmos of, what do you call, I mean,
Thank you so much.
so many new words we get to
New words,
learn
yes.
today.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Gulbute, Asuda, Pazmurda. These were new words for me as well when I started reading it.
Yeah.
And while we writers always strive to write every day or even write what is running in our minds, we should always include these words we learn while we read other people.
Exactly.
And I just wanted to illustrate my book here, which has come out this year. Last time I could not show it. So I will put the link in the chat box if anyone is interested.
Please.
I have followed Jairaniga and my inspirational women writers from all languages and written some nazms in this book as well. Thank you so much.
Please share it there, the link, ma'am, in the chat box. So thank you as always coming, and please don't go away. You have a line of poets coming up.
I'm listening to everybody. Thank you.
Marcia is there, and Murli and Durgachari and Isaac. We have got and Jennifer. Yes, how could we miss?
7 o'clock.
Don't go away.
Thank you.
Yes, Richard, we got, please don't go. I think I could just go on reading my a short one. The gales of blues, basked in the lustrous shine. As the weather dimmed with the unpleasant storms, there came the sprite with a spirit. The ambience turned into welcoming tempestuous rumble. The beginning line shimmered, the gales of blues. As the story commences amid ocean waves. Well, a tale of courtship between the man and mermaid taken place. So that is it. Anyways, short story. Thank you. Now let us welcome Marcia Dan Duta from Romania.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me, and I apologize for being a little late. Thank you very much for allowing me to read in spite of this. I will try to read a poem in the support of Iranian women rights, and I will try to mix it with a music made by an excellent Hungarian composer and poet called Conce Zsuzsa. You Didn't Die by Khosrow Hashemi. In your memory. My name is Khosrow Hashemi. I am an IT engineer from Tehran. And you, my beloved Yasmina Sinai, were my fiancée. You disappeared that day, and since I've never seen you again. Unofficial reports claimed you took part with an incredible courage in a great manifestation in support of Iranian women's rights, and that you were arrested the same day by the special elite troops, the guardians of the revolution. No news from you since, but later, unofficial reports claimed a few tens of participants in the manifestation were raped, brutalized, and killed in the headquarters of the Tehran police. I repeatedly asked for the corpse of my fiancée, but no one answered from the part of the officials. I needed a couple of long weeks to understand the truth, but now I am aware of it. And I also know I am not the only one to whom this truth was revealed. Therefore, I felt I had to write down the following words, which little by little developed into the first and the last poem I wrote in my life. You didn't die. Only your late blood diluted into sap, unfairly lost through the cracks towards nowhere, carved by drought. So the fire tree grew up, spreading its roots through the body of the old morning. I cuddled your trunk, I fondled your branches, I kissed your cones, and while kneeling, I melted into fog tears, and I dug in vain under your shade. But it was only in the moment when the gentle murmur of your green needles, quickly raising and covering the whole tree, started its mysterious duet with the susurrus of the wind, that I realized I had never seen your hair. Our religion bans this kind of familiarity before the wedding. I must say, I was happy with respecting traditions, conventions, and rules. I was proud to be a good citizen and an exemplary believer, and it is just against all this that you choose to protest. To me, your reasons were as unknown as the color and form of your hair, and as ununderstandable as the concert of your needles sensually scratching, impaling, and kissing the immaterial breasts of this morning's air. Nevertheless, something was clear through. You hate your hair. I had never seen was as much alive as the green needles and as the fire tree, its branches they covered, and for sure much more alive than the education I was given, and that bent me to see it before the wedding, and you to show to the world its beauty, and thus to prove its fire tree covering power, more alive than myself, and as much alive as you. For if your hair is alive, you can't be dead. You didn't die. Author, Mircea Dan Duta. Translation into English, Judith Antol. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Beautiful, sir. Very touching and, nice presentation. Yes, you could follow us on Facebook page. We got Vital Brands page, so you could just the links are shared in the chat box, and you also could the program will be uploaded in on YouTube, so you could just follow that too, and you could share it to some places. So despite having the number that we are getting a less new views, so if the more views, more reach out. So getting more poets. So thank you. And you got the timing of open recital. So you can the Australian time, US time, and everything is put into the chat. So some of the countries, so you could follow that. Roger, especially for you, you could just follow us on WhatsApp, and WhatsApp, we have presence on WhatsApp. So you could just anyone. So okay, moving on. Okay, Jennifer, yes, Jennifer, who is a mainstay of the Fatale. So please welcome Jennifer.
Everyone, Prasannaji, thanks for having me. I'm just going to do 3 short poems today. The first one is heavy words. Our heavy, hurtful words slice my heart as if it were a thin tape. I am still alive, though reeling from the pain, too shocked to know you achieved a gain from my ghastly pain, again and again, sadly loved, again, pain. Second poem is a mother bird talking to her birds. Don't let them clip your wings. Don't let them clip your wings. Birds in cages, behind wires our beaks can't break. If they don't shoot us, they capture us and cage us for their sadistic pleasure while we suffer. We dodge bullets, we dodge nets, we dodge human pests. Don't let them clip your wings, my child. And then whispers my soul. Whispers my soul, live on, live on. Don't let that bully make me commit folly. No one is worthy of me taking my life. Letting their social media negativity bounce immediately off of me. No entertaining suicidal thoughts. Their words are not worth a second of my time. I shall live happy, on and on and on. The final, I lift my head, admiring the clouds floating across light blue sky. Their shapes appear as animals, people, fantasy creatures. Ads playing with my mind, conjuring these beautiful images for me to see. I look up at the sky, thinking of heaven, wondering how far above, beyond the galaxies my future home lies, wondering if God will consider me one day, see me someone worthy. Thank you.
Excellent, Jennifer, as always. Scripts short yet powerful. Hope
Thank you very much.
Hope you are doing great, and with your in your new place, and you've been shifted. But yes, we love you, and thank you all for for keeping giving us your support and encouragement, and keep showing you this thing, and please be consistent. Next up is Isaac Cohen. Isaac. Isaac, please unmute your mic.
Dear Kumar and dear all my friends from all over the world. Adequate, peace. Your face is paradise. I irrigate you with kisses. The lotus blooms. And the second, yes. Adequate, the meeting of love. A swarm of butterflies took me to you, a beautiful girl near the lake. My eyes flashed. I ask you for a smell of your hair. You gave me the paradise aroma. Your pleasantness stay with me forever. Your pleasantness stay with me forever. Thank you, Adikon, Israel.
That is Isaac for you, my dear friends. He always smiles and spreads the smiles. So that's so that is Isaac Cohen from Israel. Thank you, Isaac. Let us jump across to our next poet. Our next poet is teacher and yeah, he writes in Telugu and English. His name is Durgachari. Please welcome Durgachari.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, my friends also, poet laureates. The title of my poem is Resourceful Source, Human Survival. Title is Resourceful Source, Human Survival. Great legendary personality is he who takes decisions bravely with ultimate care and concern for the land, unbiased attitude with integrity. Let us recite once again. Great legendary personality is he who takes decisions bravely with utmost care and concern for the land, unbiased attitude with integrity. Corrupted minds are staggering with shaky feet, with fear of being caught in heaps of fake treasure, fake currency. Giant colossal in bringing GST into force, curbing the double taxation. A man of demonetization twice, making the corrupt stalwarts spend sleepless nights, that is politicians, realtors, business people, inflicting the poor. All the reforms being taken superficially favoring the corporate defaulty backdrop, backstabbing the welfare of the common man. And yet, there are still measures adopted from great economists like Kautilya, Amartya Sen, Ramarajan, Rangarajan, Montek Ahluwalia, and Bimal Jalan. According to Kautilya, a resourceful administrator or role lacks the skill of plucking only the ripened fruits, leaving the unripened ones untouched. According to Arjuna in Mahabharata, domesticated elephants used to capture the wild elephants. Now, common man becoming prey for big fish. See here, land is a source of or store of material wealth, not wealth itself. Householders needs living space or feeds considered the fundamentals of his existence. Now, it being tortured, used as feed for the corporate colossals, destroying biodiversity, causing economic spine for human survival. A honeybee sucks honey without touching the bloom of the flowers, leading to pollination. Present governing bodies are feeding the huge whales with the fish which are nourished surplus nutrients of the farmer. Actually, what is happening now is that common man deprived of living space and feeding the defaulty big fish, ignoring the primary needs of him. See, this is what is going on, happening at this present scenario in our country. That is demonetization of or withdrawal of 2,000 rupee notes. I think however it is useful for common man, but it is a chance given to corporate colossals to be helpful for them only. This is the poem by me at this juncture of our precious time for reforms by our esteemed Prime Minister of India. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your concern. Maybe I think I couldn't, comment on that, but yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, last.
Prasanna, if you're speaking, you need to unmute.
Okay, sorry, I missed, I could stop from my commenting. Yes, Renukuntla Murali, who is our mainstay, like others. So please go ahead, sir.
Sir, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all. I'm getting problems, sir, with phone. I'm sorry. Am I audible, sir? Hello?
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, my title of the poem is Waves. This is one of the poems written by me, sir. The book 2, Rhythmic Tales, Part 2, sir. After completing of this one, I would like to sing a poem later on, sir. Please, sir, give me chance. Waves. Waves are the voices of the tides. Waves are the voices of the tides. Sometimes they are big, small, and imperceptible. The water's waves are churns of by winds which come and go, vary in direction and intensity as do winds of stress, and change our lives, which stir up the waves in our minds, which stir up the waves in our minds. We may come across so many problems in life, like waves in the sea. We may have so many hardships in life, like waves in the sea, like the tides in the ocean. But we never care. We never care of those in life. They come and disappear, like clouds in the sky, like clouds in the sky. Problems are not permanent, but there is a solution to success. Waves undergo different as reflection, interference, diffraction. We never care. Whatever may be, like waves, we also face so many problems and hardships, but never be disappointed. But don't afraid of problems. Try to think of solutions and be happy in life. So thank you, sir. So, One
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
two
Go
start
ahead.
చేస్తాను సార్.
Go ahead, man.
పొద్దు తిరుగుడు ఆహా పొద్దు తిరుగుడు పువ్వులేమో పొద్దును ముద్దాడే. పొద్దు తిరుగుడు పువ్వులేమో పొద్దును ముద్దాడే. తొలి పొద్దును ముద్దాడే. అడవిలో వెన్నెలమ్మ ఆకులు ముద్దాడే. చిగురాకులు ముద్దాడే. ఓలే హోలే ఒలియ హోలా. ఓలే హోలే ఒలియ హోలా. ఓలే హోలే లో ఓ ఓలే హోలే లో ఓ. పొద్దు తిరు పువ్వులేమో పొద్దును ముద్దాడే. తొలి పొద్దును ముద్దాడే. అడవిలో వెన్నెలమ్మ ఆకులు ముద్దాడే. చిగురాకులు ముద్దాడే. పాడి పాడి ఆహా పాడి పాడి మూగబోయిన గొంతును ముద్దాడే. పాడి పాడి మూగబోయిన గొంతును ముద్దాడే. పోయిన గొంతును ముద్దాడే. పిలయేరు పారుతున్న నీటిని ముద్దాడే. శిల ఏటిని ముద్దాడే. హేలో 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 ఓలే హోలే ఒలియ హోలా. ఓలే ఓలే లో ఓ ఓలే ఓలే లో. గంగమ్మ అరే గంగమ్మ పొంగి పొంగి నింగిని ముద్దాడే. నింగి చుక్కల ముద్దాడే. తల్లి పాలు పొదుగు చూసి పాపలు ముద్దాడే. పసి పాపలు ముద్దాడే. ఓలే హోలే ఒలియ హోలా. ఒలియ హోలా. ఓలే హోలే ఒలియ హోలా. ఓలే హోలే లో ఓ ఓలే ఓలే లో ఓ. యుద్ధములో అరే యుద్ధముల వీరుల చూసి తుపాకి ముద్దాడే. యుద్ధముల వీరుల చూసి తుపాకి ముద్దాడే. తుపాకి తూటాలు ముద్దాడే. నెల కొరిగిన వీరుల చూసి తల్లి ముద్దాడే. నేల కొరిగిన వీరుల చూసి తల్లి ముద్దాడే. కన్న తల్లి ముద్దాడే. ఓలే హోలే ఒలియ హోలా. ఓలే హోలే ఒలియ హోలా. ఓలే హోలే లో ఓ ఓలే హోలే లో ఓ ఓలే హోలే లో. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this given opportunity.
Wow, that was touching folk and rustic flavor.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your given opportunity. Thank you very much for one and all.
Thank you. That's up for tonight and to maybe afternoon, evening, or whatever it is for everyone. So
Thank you,
please join us next week, same time, same platform. So thank you
So
all.
thank you, one and all, sir.